how to use game thinking for community building. I want to give you something today that's often overlooked, poorly understood, and very, very powerful, which is your feedback loop with your customers. So there's many feedback loops, many learning loops. There's one that might be built completely into your product, but as creators, as community builders, we're also creating a feedback loop with our members. So what does that look like? Well, there's some activity where you collect feedback. It can be, passive by just tracking stats. It can be active by asking for qualitative feedback, some combo. Then there's some way in which you're going to share those results. Ideally, you share the results with your community. Some people make the mistake of just sharing the results internally with their team and never sharing it back with their community. Missed opportunity. Then you drive deeper investment by showing impact. So it's one thing to get feedback. It's another thing to say, here's what we're doing about it, showing people. Even if it's simple, huge investment payoff. And for re-engagement, get more feedback, or what did you think of our latest changes, which again is a way of asking for more feedback. That's what a customer feedback loop looks like. It can be broken, or it can be flowing and strong and driving re-engagement. So let me show you a feedback loop that worked and then show you someone very similar who broke the same opportunity. Now this is going on in online school. Every Monday, my daughter's 8th grade science teacher gives the kids a short Google form, very, very simple, just uses Google form, and asks them the same 3 to 5 questions. How are you doing emotionally? How are you feeling today? How was your weekend? Did anything in particular happen? What do you think of what we're doing in class so far? Those 3 questions. Note that she asked them about how they're doing as a person, not just as a student. What she then does later in the week, shares the collective feedback. She doesn't always do that the same day, but she'll say, a lot of you had a hard weekend. And then she immediately shows the impact. When they have a really rough weekend, you know what she does in Wednesday, 28 minutes of class? She does magic tricks and has them try to guess what's going on with the science behind the magic trick. And it's like this crazy fun thing. And she pulls that out in response to the student feedback to show them, not just tell them I'm listening, but show them she's listening. And then what do you think happens when she wants more feedback from the students? They're eager to give it and they're honest, right? It's amazing. So let's talk about the opposite thing that happened. So there's another teacher, the math teacher, also collects feedback, not all the time, just occasionally, collects individual feedback, never shares what she learned, and doesn't actually take action. Recently, the math teacher implemented a new feature, which is instead of having people raise their hands, I'm just going to call on people randomly for answers to questions on Zoom at any time. Everybody hated this. They found it incredibly stressful, as any human would. So when it was time to get feedback, they all got together and sort of collaborated and made sure they all gave the same feedback, which is, we really hate that. Please go back to letting us raise our hands. Not only did nothing change, but she never acknowledged that they had all given, she didn't say it. She failed on both of these steps, sharing the feedback back and showing the impact. So what do you think is going to happen the next time this teacher asks for feedback? Is she going to get honest feedback? Unlikely. Why should they? If you want to apply game thinking to community building, set up some kind of rhythm, quarterly, tied to something else, whatever, and gather feedback, but not just feedback, gather actionable feedback. Don't ask every question in the world that you're interested in. Get feedback that you can take action on. That one thing will really change your response rates. 2, communicate the results. Don't forget to close the loop. They gave you their feedback. Now you give them your feedback and say, this is what I learned from you. And then step 3, make that impact visible. Don't just tell them, oh, I listened, I learned. How many times this year have we heard listening sessions that resulted in no action, right? You need to make the impact of your response to the feedback visible to your community, to your customers. In the same way, if you just see a speed limit sign, it's static, it doesn't do much. But if you see a feedback sign that shows you your speed next to the speed limit sign, as shown here, those have proven through research to be far, far, far more effective. So the more that you can close these feedback loops, get the feedback from your customers for sure. And again, you don't just do what they say, you take it under advisement, but get the feedback, show them here's what you said, and then show them what you're going to do about it. What this is going to do is set you up for growing a strong and healthy community. Because if your community takes off in any way, you're going to have problems. People are going to complain when you do new stuff because everybody always does. And if you've got this rhythm going with your community, you will be positioned to navigate through those seas and grow. And this is where a lot of people fall down. I'm hoping that you don't fall down and you start to put this really simple feedback loop into place and then see where it takes you. Want more? Join me in the Game Thinking Hub, our free group for product leaders who want to innovate smarter. Go to gamethinking.io/hub and sign up today. I'll see you there.